Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 415 of Pixels and Ink, the official podcast of CG Magazine, where we take a critical eye to gaming, comics, tech, and media. I'm your host today, Chris DeHoog, and I'm joined by our editor-in-chief, Brendan Fry,
Hello there, Chris.
Dana Eileen,
Hey, hey. Oh, what's going on with my hair?
and oh, hair check.
Sorry, that was.
Speaking of hair check, and Jordan Biordi.
That was super
That was the
uncalled for.
that was the harshest segue I've ever done.
You know, not untrue, but
Sniper, no sniping. Sorry.
this is this is the energy the podcast has.
Yeah.
Made
Dana,
Dana
tell us
smile,
how
I
you
think,
feel.
there.
I do love insulting people. It makes my day.
It was a cheap shot across the brow.
It's okay.
Bow.
Ooh.
We
Stern.
both grabbed some low hanging fruit today.
I
Yeah.
was clearing notifications on my phone, and a new notification popped up, and I cleared it.
Just whipped it across the
and
room.
was already doing that, and now
Enough!
I don't know what it is. I don't know what
It probably wasn't that important.
Hey guys, look at this though. Real quick. Look at this beautiful thing.
Yeah,
That's
it is
pretty nice.
Oh.
Look at that logo. Where's my little dude gone? Did I throw him?
He's right here, right behind your
Why
laptop.
do you have him? Oh, you don't.
He might have been propelled at some point. Is that from something?
It's from Beacon.
This is from Beacon.
Beacon.
Okay.
What's
Yeah.
a
Mob a
beacon?
loop on this one.
What's a Beacon? It's a
Yeah.
new audio company, and
Mm.
look at how beautiful this is.
Very nice. Yeah, well,
Is that their arm too? Or?
I got a
No,
Yeah,
I got a
this is-
mug
That's a
that looks
road
like
arm.
Darth Vader full of pens and a
I do
weird
like that.
Sonic topper
I do like
that
that.
lost a nose.
okay,
Doesn't need.
Beautiful.
My
Doesn't
girlfriend's got a
need
lot of fun stuff in here.
that's fair.
There's whatever this is. This is like a cat.
Okay, that's probably good. That's from massages, so I think this conversation should stop there.
Is it?
Yeah.
Actually?
this. Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
It's a cat.
Just
Yeah,
gonna
look at
take a
the
step
bottom
back
of
and say that
it.
the
It's like a
goes
book
to the side of
stopper
your
or something.
spine, or not your spine. Also,
Come on.
well, that's
How
we don't need
weird.
to.
I
We don't
have
need to
a
go
little-
How's it gonna work? Not your spot. Look at the gap there.
No, we don't need to answer that question. I was just gonna say, I think it's kind of sad that I'm more excited about the arm than the mic itself at this point, because that's just where I'm at in my organization struggles.
I would kill
Your
for a
mic
good
arms?
mic arm.
Blue, if you're listening, would love to review a mic arm. Yeah, anyways, let's dive into the news this week. Starting off on a bit of a sour note. There's been
Yeah.
a wave of layoffs across the industry, probably the biggest of which being at Microsoft itself.
I think
which is-
Amazon fired 18,000 people, if you want to be fair.
And that's Amazon. Yeah, that's probably that's bigger. That's bigger.
I mean,
Um,
both. My thing for this is it looks in bad taste to Microsoft saying, yeah, we have to cut costs. We're losing money, but we want to spend $69 billion to buy
Yeah.
something else.
That'll solve all our problems.
Yeah, let's
But
just
we're going to fire people from the studios we already own.
yeah, we just
Well,
brought you
one-
guys in, and then we're gonna bring somebody else in and cut 10,000 of you.
I mean, I
Bethesda
understand-
was
Mm.
like the beanstalk, and Activision Blizzard's the golden goose. That's the one they want. So they're willing to chop down the beanstalk to get the goose, right?
But even then, so the big thing for why they wanted Activision Blizzard was their mobile division because it has good connections in China, and Activision Blizzard just
Oh,
burned
Jesus.
their relations with China.
Ew.
They took down
They
a
did- NetEase
statue,
just severed ties.
and they gave
It's,
everyone Blizzard green teas, which apparently is like it's like a thing you do. It's basically like like an insult term essentially when you're saying that someone's like a conniving. It basically, from what I've heard, it
You
like
went- you went
loosely
somewhere.
it loosely when you give someone a green tea, or you call it like in that sense, it's basically calling them a sussy bitch.
That's the loose translation.
That's
According to Babbel, that's the
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. It's so to walk it
been a
back a little
weird-
bit for those who haven't read the story, Microsoft is laying off approximately 10,000 people, less than 5% of their workforce by the end of the third quarter of this year. And yeah, like
You use big words like quarter.
yeah, quarter. And I sound like I understand business. Uh,
Business.
Stuff.
and yeah, Amazon laying off 18,000 was it? And then
I believe 18,000,
Mhm.
along with like Comixology and a few other
Can
things.
we
that
just
hit.
discuss that companies are large enough to get rid of that many people?
Yeah.
and
I
it's
mean,
only like yeah, in this case,
that's
it's
a
like that's
problem, man.
10,000 jobs. That's a lot of jobs, but it's less than 5% of Microsoft.
I
That's
mean,
a lot.
Microsoft is worth like
It's got nothing to do with what it's worth. It's just an insane number.
yeah, it is dumb.
Like, there are cities smaller than that, much smaller than that.
Yeah.
They should make their own city.
Yeah,
Huawei did.
they
Yeah,
could.
Huawei did.
Huawei has their own city. It's weird.
It's certainly not a cult, I'll tell you.
It's natural.
Fair. Best Buy, that was a cult. Just saying, I worked there. Totally.
Yeah, that's fair.
Did
It
Best Buy
takes a
have
village,
a village?
to run a company. And
No, but it was definitely a cult.
The Geek Squad runs all.
the Geek Squad Topia.
See y'all.
And it's not even just these big, well, not even just these juggernauts of the industry. It's also fellow journalists at Giant Bomb and TV Guide and Fandom as well.
So what happened at Giant Bomb?
I don't have all the details. I just saw there's a bunch of layoffs later today.
Yeah.
Just a couple hours ago. So
They only
Jeff
have like 8
Grubb.
staff. So Jeff
The-
Grubb.
from what
That's the same thing
from
with
basically
fandom, so
from what I just like what I've been seeing, the only thing that I could find in terms of like any kind of news about it was just I saw a Reddit post that basically like confirmed it because Jeff Grubb tweeted out it said please hire my friends at Voidburger, at Unastrike, at
Really?
Megaberry Crunch.
okay, so
And
I'm
that's
just gonna go back to what I was trying to say.
And
yeah,
who
I've
was
got.
this?
go ahead,
Am I
Dana. Sorry.
invisible today? Thank
No,
you.
just
I
quieter
was
than
just
the
sharing.
rest.
It's GameSpot, Giant Bomb, Fandom, and TV Guide.
And Metacritic.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah,
GameSpot too is
Metacritic.
big. Yeah.
So
God, it's just
there's
strange because
some
like
saying.
GameSpot used to be like when internet media was
the top
becoming a
one,
thing
yeah.
with gaming. That was one of the big things with IGN. Like those two were the
Yeah.
juggernauts.
I used to regularly go, like, my two places to go typically, like when I started getting into like just following games in general, was typically like game trailers and then GameSpot.
Yeah. It's
That's
just sad to
like-
see because I think this sale just happened recently where they were sold from was it Red Letter Media, then they were sold to Fandom. And I guess Fandom's cutting costs.
Yeah, it's weird.
It was CBS before that.
It's
Red
weird
Ventures Media
juggling
before
of,
that,
of enterprises and like conglomerates, and it's just
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you're starting to see the trickle down. It's not sure if it's
Well,
just
also,
like
I think a lot of these.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say a lot of these media companies, when they're purchased by these other media companies, want to get rid of the higher people that are more expensive. So they'll buy the company, lay people off, bring on younger staff, and get them to do grunt work.
Delightful.
Delightful.
Yeah.
And gross.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of gross, to come back to Microsoft too. Speaking of their bad timing, Phil Spencer this week was saying, "Oh, I'm so proud of the devs who release games against the threat of being canceled." And it's like, yeah, devs like the devs that were just laid off at your company.
Yeah.
I just can't fathom in the news saying you're buying something for what, billions?
69 billion. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Billions of dollars. And then you're like, but peace out to you guys. Which,
Well,
like, how do you
It's-
justify that?
Yeah.
Brendan, open the chat on Melon. Keep
Okay.
it close.
it was definitely like a stupid look. I mean, like, but it was probably less bad than like, Bobby Kotick, like celebrating with investors about all the money that they brought in, all the money they were going to make, and then like the next day laying off like 30% of their staff.
They did that too.
Yeah.
I mean, Microsoft didn't do that. Activision has 100% done that.
Yeah.
Well, soon that'll be them doing it also because they're not canning Bobby Kotick. So,
I mean, I think they want to, but his golden parachute means it basically almost cost him $1 billion to do so.
golden parachute, I like that term.
Whoa,
Golden
guys,
ripcord.
we got the chance of a lifetime here in the chat. Is anyone seeing this?
They don't
I'm
need to see
already
that,
there.
that's
I'm
fine.
already clicking.
That's amazing. Oh, we're gonna be millionaires.
When the word Doge is involved, I am on board. Sight
Yeah, I'm
unseen.
in there.
Take my credit card info.
Dogehype.com.
And again, Phil Spencer's comments, like, it's kind of, again, tasteless and whatever, considering,
I mean, it's also I understand that there's a lot of people working on Hogwarts Legacy, and not all their work is related to J.K. Rowling. That's fine.
Yeah.
But there's times you come out and say, "Yeah, I'm supporting you not canceling things because damn that cancel culture," and there's times you don't do that.
What did I miss that we got onto cancel culture? This is not
Phil
a topic
Spencer-
we're
was-
doing today.
That's what Phil
Absolutely
Spencer
not.
said.
Phil Spencer was saying, "Oh, so
Jesus.
proud of the brave devs releasing games against the threat of being canceled," as he's laying off 10,000 devs.
I thought they meant just like, sorry, we can't complete this game right now. I didn't
No,
think we
nope.
meant cancel culture.
It's related to Hogwarts.
But then also, like, what I was gonna say earlier too, there was that, like,
That's the end of our
so
stance
proud
on
against,
that. Thank you.
So-
Sorry, go ahead, Chris.
so brave to release a game like against the threat of being canceled when Jason Rowland from High on Life is
Justin
yeah,
Roiland.
so bad.
in making controversial waves because of his domestic abuse charges and stuff like that. It's like, you
Yeah,
realize that's
and
on
other
Game
things he's
Pass.
Yeah,
And-
what the fuck happened this week? Did did the fabric of reality just untwine for a little bit?
I
We've
mean,
been
I
let's
think
not
it's-
pretend we haven't been this way for a while. Headed this direction for a while. We've been heading off the multiversal cliff for a
I think
while.
the Justin Rowland thing, that it seems like that's been going on for a while. This stuff, the stuff related to him happened like over a year ago.
Yeah,
believe.
years
Yeah.
ago.
So it's
And
more
it's
the
just
fact
now
that
the game's
coming
out,
out
it's
now.
coming up. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently it's been Dana was saying that it was much worse than just him doing that. He's like was apparently
No, there's,
hitting
like,
on fan.
Oh, I know what
leaked
we're talking
audio
I
about
don't remember
him.
names, so like I had no idea. I'm like, what did I
Mm.
say about who? Yeah, no, he was sending like calling this girl jailbait, but
And
talking
saying,
about
like,
her
what's
doing
wrong
nasty
with
things.
that, and
No, he was like
Yeah.
insulting her, calling her jailbait, but then being like asking.
I thought he
her-
was trying to be like the context
This
I
is
saw.
a screenshot I saw. Like this
Yeah.
happened with a billion women, so it was probably
Yeah, no, because like
something different.
I saw something about it, like someone talking about it on TikTok, and it kind of sounded like the context of the text themselves kind of made it seem like he was like almost being like flirty about it, like he was like,
I
"Oh,
think that
you're
was what he was
jailbait. I'm
trying to
gonna go to jail for it." But isn't that like why is it's weirdly sexy that you're jailbait? Kind of shit like that was really
that's
fucking
a different
gross.
Conversation, but yeah, he
Mhm.
was. Yeah, absolutely, that is the case. Good time.
Ugh.
But Pickle Rick was really funny, guys.
Isn't High
Remember,
Life
he
so
turned
funny?
himself into a pickle.
I knew I hated that show for a reason, guys.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
does-
right.
It paints that show. I'm not gonna lie, it does. But here's the thing: with the
Mhm.
new Warner Brothers Discovery owners, I bet they're not gonna care. I bet they're gonna renew that show, no problem at all.
You think?
Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
no, it's
they've,
too. It's
they've
Prince
canceled more
money.
for less.
He
And-
was the one
I
talking
guess
about how
that's
they.
true.
He
Let's
was
face
the one
it too.
talking.
Like,
Yeah.
like
Sorry.
look at the stuff that they canceled early on. This kind of stuff is in their wheelhouse, anyways. So
Mm-hmm.
If we're talking about shitty people, I don't think we caught this yet. One of the guys from Wednesday is in a lot of shit.
Oh, which one?
The like broody one that like we're like, do we hate him? Do we love him? Da, da,
The
da.
redheaded,
The artist.
What?
the redhead.
No, not the red.
Oh, the long with
other
long
guy.
hair.
They all have long hair.
I
but-
don't know.
The
Yes,
artist
I
guy
know
who
who
made
you're
the
talking
arts
about.
come to life.
Yeah, it turns out like people were talking about it, and in all the comments, it was like, "Oh, but I'll never forget what he did to me." And there's like a billion girls. I guess he was like
That's
super
bad.
molesting. I think it was in like high school, which doesn't excuse it, but
hmm.
he's probably
No.
3 minutes out of high school, so that's how I feel about that. The world sucks. Yay!
Yikes. Yeah.
That's
And he's young, so like there he goes. Goodbye.
Yeah, it's not great.
Mm-hmm. Good times.
yeah, good times. So to kind of bring that all to an end, there are thoughts with all the people who ran into that misfortune this week, and hopefully things will turn around on every front involved in this discussion here. But
Mhm.
I will
yeah,
tell you, if you search Justin Roiland on Twitter, all I'm getting is the boys diabolical.
He was worked on that.
Yeah, like over and over and over and over. They're like, this is what you want to look at. I'm like, I know that's not the latest posts. That's from February 2022. That
Yeah.
is not the latest post about him. So Twitter's like filtering it out.
Twitter's gotten
It's-
weird.
Twitter's
It-
filtering it out. I clicked latest.
The number of
Yo, I
people I've
learned
seen
something.
complaining about the new For You thing because it's pushing them towards like extreme right content
Yeah, it's
that
getting
they
Oh yeah.
real weird. I mean, like Jim
I
Jordan.
can-
I'm like, I really,
I can personally attest to that. I've been seeing like nonstop like thing like you might like, and it's like literally been like Laura Boebert, and I was like, why would you think I like this?
I
I've
don't
been
know
seeing
what
a
I'm
lot
doing
of,
differently. That I'm only the For You thing is just showing me like older posts that I should have seen already. And I'm also
Mhm.
getting like, you might also like this tweet, and it's just random people saying like, I need new music, hit me up. I've seen that so many times, but I guess that's much more preferable to seeing stuff like Bobert and other of her ilk. But it's what a strange coincidence that that is a thing that keeps happening to people across the board, just being shoved towards that concept.
Yeah.
Huh? Makes you think. Anyways, to move on to more exciting and less pessimistic things, Dana and Brennan, you guys were just at CES recently. Big deal.
Yeah, ask me why I'm sick.
Got
Yeah,
that con gunk.
She says as she hacks them along. It's
Th-
not COVID though. Hey,
Yeah.
bonus.
Although they
It's
were giving
some
out
mystery illness.
They were giving out COVID tests like they were candy.
They were like, every time you walked through this one room, they're like, COVID test mask. Thank you. Testing
Just-
at this point is not going to help me. I'm already here, and there's 200,000 people. I think I never actually looked
plus
that up.
the regular people of Vegas.
Plus,
Just walk
yeah,
by and go
anyway,
stab you in the brain. Stab you in the brain.
pretty much, pretty much. Yeah, we definitely did that. It was both of our first time there. It was my
Yeah.
first time in Vegas. I like Vegas a little more than I should.
That's dangerous.
It is. I like staying up all night and drinking in the streets. Who knew? I got one of those big ugly drinks. You know the big like slushy drinks you see people in the dumb cups walking around with?
Made with Everclear.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's made with like 151. It's like absolutely, let's do this. And who drank that whole thing?
I did.
Brendan. Brendan did. He was like, I don't want one. I'm like, okay, you can have some of mine. And by the end of it, he
Yeah,
drank
it
the
was
whole
gone.
thing. And I made him have a drink where you have to like eat this flour thing. You have to take a sip of the drink and then eat this flour, and the flour makes your entire mouth go numb. And then you drink the drink again, and it tastes different. It was terrible either way.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
That's-
It didn't taste good the second way. It just was like,
It was
well,
a
that's
$20 American drink, and it was
Yep.
terrible. But it was an experience, and I'll never do it again.
If someone tells me that I need to make my mouth numb to drink something, I'm just not gonna drink it because that's a
The
trap.
point is that it's supposed to like when you taste it the first time, it tastes like one thing, and then after the numb thing, it tastes like I don't know if it was supposed to be sour to sweet
yeah,
or whatever.
it flips your taste buds.
Ass is the answer.
Weird.
Yeah, it was dumb.
Ass. Anyway, CES, I guess. Not just my my Vegas exploits. Yeah, we did that. And in case anybody has not been to CES, it's big.
It is.
Like one, two, at least three different like giant locations,
Mhm.
all like 20 minutes away from each other.
Oh, I found out what was in the Aria,
Wow.
by the way.
Oh, good.
It's the creator space.
Okay. It was like a lot of yeah. Anyway, not going there.
The creative
Anyway.
sphere.
So I was unaware when I was making the appointments that like some were in the Venetian and some were in the convention center and some were in like this hall of the convention center and some were in this hall. Those involve a car to get to each other
Hmm.
in the same building.
In
That just the convention center. Yeah, there's an entire underground tunnel built that is glowy, and Teslas drive you from hall to hall.
well, you
Yeah, so
survived
weird.
the Tesla ride, so
Which I'm glad
that's
we
a start.
found out. We did. It was cool. It was a cool experience. It was all glowy and stuff.
Yep.
But yeah, we
course it
didn't
was
know that the
glowy.
first day, so we were late for everything. Yeah, it was huge. So that was an experience. And Brendan, go ahead.
Well, why don't you pick your favorite thing you saw?
That's because you know I'm going to talk about a sex toy box. And that's
You
fun.
are going to talk to a sex toy
I
box.
don't even think that's necessarily my favorite. I think it's just the most thing I want to talk about all the time. It's hilarious. What? He tells me to talk and then goes, and
Yeah,
he's
go
gonna
for
start
it.
fight-
Talk.
No, I don't want to talk
Talk
about
about it. Talk about the trove.
Oh
Or-
man, I'm gonna lose my voice. One more cough. So there's this company, Trova. They make lock boxes, like little guys that are like this, and they're smart lock boxes. So they charge. You unlock them with your phone. You can do it with a code. You can do it with, I think, fingerprints, things like that. So I was like, oh, that's neat. That's fun. And then we saw what they were advertising for CES, and like, as much as I want to be like, you could use that for anything, they even market it
Yeah,
for grown-up things.
they do.
So essentially, this box
a
is
sex
bigger.
box?
I'm a small camera here, but like, say it's probably about this big, actually, like about as wide as my body, maybe long, like little box, like shoebox, maybe a
Yeah,
little
like
bit smaller.
a more narrow shoebox. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like shorter than a shoebox. And yeah, it does all the smart things. But the trick is it has a charger inside it. So not only can you lock, larger things that aren't just like a bottle of pills or a passport or like a ring, you can plug things in while they're in the box.
Mhm.
Things that you may need to charge when not
Where are you
in
going with
use.
this, Dana?
I know this
It's
is like
literally for
I.
sex toys. I'm gonna explain it. It's literally like they market it for sex toys, and I think it's hilarious, and I want one. Not that I use sex toys, God.
What happened to the good old days? You just kept your sex toys in a side drawer, and we didn't talk about it.
Yeah, I gotta find the email they sent, because like that's what I found first, and I thought it
Mhm.
was friggin' hilarious.
In discreet, unmarked packaging,
Here's
to your door.
A human-sized box in a discreet,
here's the
unmarked
subject
package.
line in the email I got. Protect your sexiest and darkest secrets a modern way with Trova Home.
Nice.
I mean,
Yeah. Hey, like we're gonna go there, folks. Bunch of boys and me.
Mhm.
I have children. That's not
They ain't,
good.
they ain't gotta be seeing
Uh,
mommy's
Anything. At
dot
all.
dot dots.
And that's not even things that charge. Where do you think I charge these things that I do or do not use when I have children?
The
My
bathroom.
windowsill. I just
The
want you to
doors
know,
have
my
locks.
windowsill, because I have long curtains. So I live on the second floor. Anybody that walks by is gonna be like, "What the?" But my children won't be. So
The bat signal looks different.
that is.
that
I'm
apartment
sure you
looks
can
fun.
find one that looks like a bat signal. I'm just saying, I can make
Yeah,
that
probably.
happen. I found a really weird company today. They make like weird twisted. Anyway, that's not important. However, so they emailed me today and they're like, "Do you want to look at this?" Absolutely, I want to look at this,
Yeah.
even just for curiosity's sake. Although I'm wondering how much you can fit in it, because most people that like have things that need to charge have things that need to charge, not just like a thing. So we'll see how that goes.
Apparatuses, apparati.
Yeah.
It's also
man.
good for people like that take prescription medication or whatever. This one necessarily you don't need that, because I don't need to charge my pills.
Unless
Really, you don't?
But we didn't discuss the price, Brendan. When we
How much is it?
How about everybody takes a guess for how much this smart box that
300
charges your
bucks?
sex toys is? Okay, Brendan's at 300. Anybody else? Don't Google it. I can see you, Jordan.
I was gonna leave it like a 250, but I'm just thinking. So it's about a human-sized box almost, and it
Not
charges
human
stuff.
size. It's like human width.
Human width.
I incepted Chris with that idea.
You did. You Mandela affected that right in my brain. Stupid joke. Human width box with the charger in it. Yeah, I'll price is right it and go 250.
I'll say
250,
251.
Oh god damn it!
That's why I was waiting for you guys.
He wasn't googling it. He was gonna.
Ballpark?
I was just waiting for
Yeah.
that joke.
So,
You're closest without going over.
what would you say if I told you? Now, I'm pretty sure I've got the
Oh, God,
Canadian
it's more.
pricing,
Okay.
and I could get 10% off my first order. It is $751
Get the fuck out of
I'd
town.
say, what a deal.
for a rechargeable box.
For a
That's-
dildo charging box? Hell yeah.
That better be like
Yeah.
fireproof, like explosion proof.
To be fair, for this job, I've been sent sex toys that are about that expensive. So I don't know. Guess you
I
need a
better
pretty
be able
box.
to get into that box and survive the
You're-
apocalypse.
Yeah.
Leaving these things on the windowsill so they get faded from the
uh,
sun. Jeez.
That's more than a PS5.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
About
yeah, it
the
is
same price as
actually.
this.
That is more than the street.
that
That
is.
is more of the street pre-tax price of a PS5 God of War bundle.
If you guys want to, so the website, if anybody's listening or whatever wants to check it out, it's Trova, Trova official.com. The box that I'm talking about is called the Trova Home. Brendan is apparently taking us there. I forgot that we're sharing computer screen, and that just freaked me out. It's like, where'd everybody go?
Also, if Trove is listening, I apologize for saying get the fuck out of town when I heard the price.
Yeah, no.
Now that we're
I'm
advertising them.
super into this box, and I guess like if I had income, sure. Their smallest box, the Go, is $272. They're pretty. I'll give them that. I didn't know a box could be pretty, but they are. But one that looks about the size of like a watch is almost $300.
I mean,
Jeez.
sure.
Like, is
So
that fireproof and blast-proof
Well, they
and
are
stuff like
they are
that?
biometrics, so you can use your fingerprint to open them and things like that.
Okay, so that explains.
So,
some-
They are
yeah.
smart.
Yeah.
they're
So
smart.
there's a
and
lot
they
of
do
tech
stuff.
behind it to justify the price.
There is.
I
but
mean,
like
there's
I
tech.
said,
There is tech. I don't
just-
know if there's a lot of tech.
Okay.
So
I mean, it is
Fair.
biometric
Yeah.
sounds fancy enough to justify it.
But here's where we
Mhm.
are. So, like I said, the way that it was introduced to us was this email.
Mm.
And it says Trova, the brand behind. Sorry, I'm so sick.
The
brand
brand
behind
that doesn't
discreet-
quit when you need to
Shut up,
go.
Jordan. Discreet smart storage solutions. God, that was hard. Announces the retail availability of its first smart safe for inside the home, Trova Home. Customers can now add Trova Home to their decor and keep the most secretive possessions such as cash, jewelry,
Wink,
legal
wink.
medication, recreational drugs, and intimate adult toys hidden but conveniently located within arm's reach. So that's where I'm at. And if you go further into like the press release, yeah, to remove the friction between our customers' home space and their desires for privacy. It does.
Yeah.
There's never been a smarter.
These
or
boxes
sexier
come
way to
lubricated.
protect your belongings. Yeah, pretty
That
much. They better.
kudos. That was a
come with
nice.
it.
That was nice phrasing. That was good.
Thank you. Thank you.
But,
They know who they're writing
but
for.
that was like that was something I insisted on going to see because I was
Yep.
like, come on, again, like they got me.
Yeah,
as,
they
like,
earned it with
mom,
that. Yeah.
You know,
They were
that has
next
done
to
things.
they
but
were
that are
next to the
something-
bird feeders with cameras.
They were. That's true.
That is a
What about the-
wholesome mix
Clear
right there.
What about the silencing muzzles you can get for gamers?
I
Hmm.
pictured
They
something that
might
I'm
have been
not
somewhere I
sure.
didn't see them.
Anywho, that's where I'm at. Your turn, Brendan.
Oh,
Top that.
I don't feel I can.
Because you're not excited about anything.
I mean, the wireless TVs were pretty cool.
Those were cool. I don't trust them, but they were cool. But they're not wireless TVs, though. That's the thing. They do plug into the wall.
Mhm.
They're not wireless. They trick you with all that and the way they displayed them and everything. They make it sound like it's a TV that doesn't require being plugged in.
Yeah.
Which Brendan and I, for ages, were like, "How does it work?" And nobody would tell us. It's wireless in that all of your home belongings, like your systems, your cable. I don't know if you're reacting to me or something you're reading on the internet, and I'm terrified.
Something
they
I'm
plug
reading
into
on
a
the
box.
internet.
Wow, that's amazing.
Wow, that's
Thank you
yeah,
for
that's cool.
being here with us.
Yeah.
It plugs into like a box that goes off to the side somewhere. So when you're looking at your entertainment center, it's just the TV, and it looks
Okay.
great. The TVs are gorgeous.
Yeah.
Um,
They're really
but
nice looking.
it was
TVs.
very misleading.
I mean, there was actually a TV that was fully wireless, but it works via batteries. So you have to charge the battery, then it kind of like.
I would
sits-
like to know where that TV was because I did not.
It
see
was
one.
on Central Hall, but it was kind of one that was like $5,000 and it wasn't very big.
Are you telling me you know which hall it was in? Number one, that's bullshit because you never knew where we were. I'm telling you who made it.
Oh,
Literally, physically, where was it?
I forget. It's something. I forget. It starts with the D. The script. No, I forget what it was. It's something like that. I mean, I could easily look it up and find out.
Yes.
I'm gonna do it.
Could, probably. Anyway, yeah, the LG TV after the fact made me kind of mad. It's still cool what it does, but that's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
what they were saying it does.
Yeah, that's
Um,
that's still like I appreciate that myself actually. Like it's always
Yeah,
a hassle with the basketball management to keep
Yeah.
that stuff in track. So
Absolutely. What else we got? So like our best of stuff. There were some really cool laptops. Lenovo has some cool like dual screen.
Displace. It was Displace.
Still sounds made up to me. Anyway, I find it very hard to understand how you saw things I didn't see. I don't think we left each
Did
other's
you
side for what, 8 days? Dear God.
did you see the smart fork?
No.
That's that's too bad.
That reaction though.
That's too bad.
He's got a spit take on the equipment. That's not good.
She almost spilled her drink. Okay. Anywho, look,
Clip that.
Brendan had a laptop that he wants to play with because it makes pretty pictures on the back of it.
Oh, I really like
Uh,
the Asus M14 or G14.
the ROG Zephyrus G14.
That G14. It has
Telling me.
it is like a pixel matrix back thing that will
That's what I
like
was talking
display
about.
pictures. It was great.
I just said that. Yeah, that was pretty cool. It's a nice laptop. It also does like little art on the back. It's not pictures, like it does. It go look
Like
at
GIFs.
actual art, like
yeah,
AI art.
things moving. I mean, like
Yeah, there's
video, but
Nancat.
it's not video. You know what I mean? The Razer soundbar was really cool.
Yep.
It I,
Leviathan.
yeah, the Leviathan V2 Pro.
Yep.
Look at you just guessing names over there and almost being right.
Well, it's always some kind of sea creature if it's audio with Razer.
There you go.
True.
I realized saying like this soundbar is really cool sounds super lame, but if you sit in front of it in one of the modes that it goes in, it makes it sound like the sound wraps around your head,
Hmm.
and I don't know how.
3D
Magic.
audio. Yeah.
It uses
There's a little
eye
wizard in there,
tracking.
Dana.
Yeah, it's got eye tracking and all this weird shit. I wrote about it. Go read that.
It is cameras physically to make sure where you are.
Yep, and it freaked me out. They made me go first because that's what Brendan does with everything. He experiments on Dana. Go. And Will, who works for Razer, super nice guy. He was just watching, and I was just went, whoa, when the sound moved. Everybody laughed at me. I'm like, yep, that's pretty on par.
Mhm.
That was really cool. There's some cool lights and stuff. Some cool earbuds. They're not cool enough to talk about. I will
Those
say,
friggin' JBLs though.
yep, are those the earbuds that we're talking about? Yeah.
I
Those
mean
are great.
the headphones, the friggin' the 910s,
Oh,
the for like the
Mm.
like specifically for Xbox and PlayStation. Holy shit!
yeah, we got some writers fighting over them.
Well, Kahari can have the Xbox one. Give me the PlayStation one.
We'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Anyway, the LG OLED Flex monitor was really cool.
Oh
You
yeah.
guys know there's curved monitors, and now there's monitors that like you can make them straight and then like pop them, and they make an awful crackling noise. I learned this year
That
when you
sounds
like
terrifying.
The
crank
Corsair
them
one.
to curve them. But LG does something different. It has 20 different curve settings, so you can set it with your remote, and it'll like move itself, and there isn't a horrible crack. When it's
Yeah,
super
that
loud.
is
It's awesome.
always weird. Like every time they do it, I'm like, ah, you broke something. I don't like it.
Yeah. And I'll say Cooler Master is doing a lot of cool things. Like they're going above and beyond. They're doing like the crazy gamer chair where
Yeah.
it's all built in and your keyboard comes over and like the pods. They're doing that kind of stuff and giant gaming chairs and
D-box.
PCs that look like sharks and D-box chairs, which was an interesting experience. That again, I was
I
made.
tried it too. I just thought it was
I'm
dumb.
sorry, you tried it when I threatened your life.
I mean, yes. And the D-box people were looking at me like, hey, you should try this thing. I'm like,
Yeah, and you were like, "No, I'm good," and I'm like, "I'm gonna leave if you don't." That was how
I
that went.
mean-
Just so we're clear, because it.
I've always thought,
Hey,
no, I'm good whenever I see D-Box, so I get it.
well, it's he doesn't like doing things in front of people, and I have like this crazy social anxiety, so I'm like, I don't want people watching me do this shit, especially because there was a guy filming us and taking pictures.
yeah, that did
But
happen.
fun fact, a D-box chair jostles you, and I was wearing a slightly low-cut tank top, so I really didn't want to do it, and somebody made me. So that thing's weird, and it
Yeah.
requires like it's to be like a $80 subscription, I
Per
think,
year, yeah.
per year.
But it comes with
Hmm.
1 year free, and it comes with the game by doing that as well.
Yes, but you still have to pay $80 a year, and if you don't, you have a how expensive chair that doesn't do anything?
$2,500 chair that does nothing. American.
That hurts to hear.
What a steal!
But the reasonable things that Cooler Master are doing is really are really cool.
I really don't.
They have a case. It's called the Cube with a QU,
Mhm.
500 PC case. It's literally it comes in a flat box. You build it yourself. There's minimal screws. I call it the crock of PC cases because
Mhm.
it's all full of holes. But you can customize. Brendan can probably speak better to what goes inside it because
Right.
But you can customize like where everything goes inside. You can customize the colors of the top. It literally like, snaps together like Lego. And when we were listening to the guys that designed it talk about it, like it was super nostalgic. He literally was like, "This reminds me of Lego. That's where this idea came from." And it was cool, and I want to play with it. And it's so wee.
I just like the fact that it's designed for, like, the guy that was showing off was talking about how his experience building PCs for the first time with his parents, stuff like that, and that is something that is kind of a coming of age thing that some people do. I guess not everyone. Like some people go fishing, some people build PCs. Whatever, it's fun.
That's us pale people.
Yeah. But I like the fact they've found a way to make PC building as easy as physically possible, making it so the case is something that doesn't have the sharp edges. It doesn't have the like dangers that you would have with.
Danger Will Robinson.
I mean, I've literally sliced open my hand opening a PC case. So, and it does have those risks, but making something that is easy for a kid to kind of get in there and try and like make it look how he wants it helps him build his first PC.
It does
and
look like a crock though.
it
It's
does.
not just meant for that. Like I would totally use it. It's
Yeah,
fun.
I
And
think
they were
it's
talking about different like colors and different designs.
and different
Like,
ways to kind of shape it based on what you need.
yeah, it's cool. I want to play with it.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
I mean, I'm not going to build a PC. I want it, and I want Brendan to build me a computer in it, and I will watch.
That's fair.
Done. That was pretty cool. That's all I have for the best of. I can go on innovative unless you have something cooler to say.
Was there anything else in the best of that I selected?
Yes, but I just closed the list, so figure.
I'm going to open the list.
I went through the list. Nothing was very exciting. Wow, we really did our research. You know you were there, right?
I know, but my mind's going a blank.
It is. We were supposed to talk about this last week. It ended up not because
Yeah,
my
that's
child
true.
was
I-
puking.
Okay,
So
okay.
Yeah.
It was yesterday.
And,
The
and
yoga
Brendan got
laptop.
sick too.
The yoga laptop, which is the
I said that. Lenovo.
Lenovo. You said the Asus one.
No, I said Lenovo first. I said Lenovo has some really cool laptops and then I said, and this one does dumb things.
So I work on dual screens, so that kind of need to have different things on different monitors is really important the way I work. And there's been numerous attempts to make it so dual screens work on the road, and they all kind of suck.
You were really mad at that one.
I really
You
didn't
put
like that
magnets on
thing.
your computer.
But I loved what Lenovo did with their Yoga 9i laptop, which kind of makes it so it's dual screens that sit into a dock with the keyboard. It can kind of also fold over so the keyboard can go on top. So you can kind of find different configurations that let it work how you work. But it does give you dual screens to work with, either vertically or horizontally. That does make working on the road a much different experience. It was in testing anything in kind of a showroom setting is never good. It looks like, hey, that's cool. Windows starts up. I guess that works. But you really don't know what it's like to work on. Yeah. You really don't know how it's like to work on or do anything with until you have it like at home and you're working on it and using it day to day. But in concept, it looks really cool.
It does look really cool. A lot of people are playing with it. You can have it like side by side. You can have it uppy. That's the technical term. Is there
100%.
anything that you guys heard or aside from your JBLs, Jordan, or saw like dumb shit, fun shit, yada 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 shit that we?
Yeah,
can
I mean, I
touch
saw the
on?
fork.
I didn't see the fork. I was there. I did not see a fork.
Yeah, I did not see a fork. I'm gonna Google the fork.
Because I literally saw like the next day, like it was like a top 10 list of dumb things from
Oh, I see a
CES.
fork.
Oh, there was a lot of
And
those.
yeah, there was like
Bluetooth fork. at
yeah.
CES. I don't want to be
There was a
hands-on
really-
with a fork at CES. I'm just saying.
Yeah, not
That's
Put
how
it in
you
your
get
mouth.
fooled. That's how you
Yeah,
get
right.
kids.
They wash it.
that's a great
Oh,
show
yes,
floor
yes.
experience.
oh, those were dumb. Yeah.
There's a device called a prinker. It's like you pick any image on your phone and you just go whoop, up your arm and it gives you a very, very temporary tattoo. So we
Yeah,
got
that's about a
edited.
day.
I tried to convince Brendan to get real tattoos with me in Vegas and he wouldn't, but then we found this, so that was fine.
That would have been an experience. Yeah.
Mine was a pretty rose and his was a skull with a knife in it.
Yeah, there was another one that was like a muzzle, the Hush Me. It's like
Okay.
it like wraps around. It's like this like thing. It looks
it
like an
supposed to
Oculus, but
though?
it wraps around your mouth. And I guess
does
it's
it
supposed to
say
be
for?
like No, well, there's the Dyson air purifying headphones as well.
Oh, that is not what we're talking about. Gotcha.
That's super. They
Um,
were apparently there, so I'm sad we didn't try them.
there's a Charmin robot. It's like a little hexagon that on wheels that looks like the Charmin bear, and I guess it's like that. It's I mean, I guess it's in bad
Okay,
taste, but it is like that
Stop for a
thing
second.
from what?
Wait, why are we stopping?
You said it's a hexagon on wheels that looks like the Charmin bear. Those
Yeah.
are two very different things. The Charmin bear is not a hexagon.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I don't know how else to explain this, but
One's a
it's
teddy
kind of
bear,
like
one's a nightmare fuel. I don't know how they're the same thing.
well,
Fear of
this is
hexagons.
oh damn it.
One's like a robot, one's a teddy bear. How are they the same thing, Jordan?
I'm so glad that you extended this conversation.
I'm
longer
done
than
with it.
needed.
We're done. We're done.
Okay,
love when
because
it
it's it just is like you got Brendan, you just gotta trust me sometimes. I know I say some crazy things from time to time, but it is,
Yeah.
and if you check the Slack chat, you'll see that I explained it pretty accurately, and it just rolls around. It's like that. It's like the butter robot from Rick and Morty. It's just like, what is my purpose? You pass the toilet paper.
Okay, that is real dumb.
Yeah, see, I you didn't believe me, but I tell the truth. Yeah, there's a taser holder you guys missed. It's like a holster for your taser.
I
Shots
wouldn't say I
Um,
missed it as like
Didn't
not
care.
my jam.
Avoided it.
Yeah. And then there was it's a voice mask. So I guess you talk into it, and it's like, I guess it's supposed to be for like maybe when you're streaming, but it like literally
Wasn't
just
it
like mutes your
straining? And then I was
voice.
like, straining with what? Okay.
It's according
Alright.
to CNET, the Hush Me is literally a dumb product. It's designed to make its user mute to other people in the immediate vicinity. It was pitched as being useful in workplaces, but ... If a coworker gave me one of these, they'd better be wearing vacuum shoes in order to clean up the gleefully stomped on bits. There's
I mean,
the
the writer
belty.
there is very angry. But okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
dangerous piece.
Brendan,
I'm
if someone
Mormon.
if
Is there
someone
anything
handed
right-
you this, like in the damn it, it's not
We can leave it.
sorry.
It's fine.
I'm more meant. Is there anything you guys heard about that you were interested in? Not what are you currently Googling?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
no, I was
all
gonna
the
say the only thing
Yeah.
I really, or the biggest thing I heard about was the Project Leonardo from PlayStation, the accessibility controller.
They didn't actually have that. On
Yeah,
the show floor.
that was really
Um,
nice.
They had a really cool video about talking to the people they've been consulting with for the accessibility stuff. But I was kind of hoping to see more of it like actually in action, and I didn't. Not that I
They
was
did
like,
not have it on the show floor at all.
yeah,
Yeah,
okay, that's
that
weird
was a-
because
that
it
was a
looks
bummer.
really cool. I want to see how it works because I
feel like
can't
it's
make heads or
not real.
tails of it on my own. But
Yeah, I saw that. It looked really cool. Sony had a lot of cool stuff there.
They did a lot of it. No one will ever use.
Yeah,
they tried
stuff
PSVR
that
2
they-
too,
I don't-
right?
No.
So you didn't get to actually
What?
try it?
No, okay, so we had an appointment with Sony. We had a block of time thinking that that would mean we'd get to see the things for Sony. What that meant is somebody would walk us around and talk about a bunch of stuff. The way the VR worked was every morning at 8 a.m., you had to log on and book a time. By what was it, 8:01,
Yep.
Brendan? You got kicked out.
And I was up early. I was refreshing the page.
He was on there, had a time chosen, and then it was like, there's no times available within a minute. And we didn't find out about
Jesus.
this because our appointment was on the Saturday.
This,
It was the Saturday.
yeah.
Our appointment was on the Saturday, so we thought we were going to do this, and we did not. So then we only had Sunday to try and get in, and we didn't. We sat and
That
watched a
sucks.
bunch. Horizon looks beautiful. We watched the way it calibrates. Instead of like moving your head now, it actually follows your eyes. So we watched. God, so hard to talk. We watched the way that it calibrates. There's one part where like you can see what it's doing for them, like it's making them move their eyes like this way, up and down. And then there's like a teeny tiny dot on the screen that they have to move their eyes to find to calibrate. So I thought that was pretty cool. We also found out that Brendan and I are not good VR people. No. We like ruined a whole day because we tried VR. So that's like,
Really?
Yep.
We did not feel good. I get motion sickness like nobody's business.
Yeah.
Um, so that was fun. I did get to talk to somebody from Knock at the Cabin. Is that what it's called?
Knock at the Cabin, yeah.
Knock at the Cabin. I got to talk to an actor from that through a VR headset. It was weird.
That was strange.
That was for Canon too, so that was extra strange.
Yeah, it was really odd.
Yeah, that was an interesting experience. In terms of innovation, though, the cool thing about CES is that there's so much that's coming. Like it may not
Yeah.
be out yet, it may not even have a real
Mhm.
use yet, but it's the beginning of things. So like there's a billion pairs of AR glasses, and everybody's like, these are the first. And we're like,
Mhm.
there's 3 over there. Um,
Yeah.
so that happens. But there were some things that were really interesting. I ran into a laptop from I can't remember.
HP,
It
Acer.
was the Predator Helio
That'd be
300
Acer.
Spatial Labs Edition laptop. Um, that like we were in the Microsoft booth just looking at laptops, and I walked over and I was looking at a gaming laptop. I'm like, this is a laptop, yay, cool! And a guy comes over and presses 2 buttons, and I think I was playing Kena Bridge of Spirits.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, it was all in 3D. Really good 3D. It didn't work for Brendan though. Now again, there's cameras in it that track your eyes for where it is, but he like turned it off, turned it back on for Brendan. But Brendan wears contacts, and I'm wondering if that has something to do with it.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But like
yeah,
it
you
was
know what?
the guy didn't know because again, like it was the Microsoft booth,
Yeah.
not the Acer booth.
Yeah.
So,
Well, like,
but it was really cool. It was seamless. It was
Mhm.
flawless, and it wasn't like 3D launching at you, but there was so much depth in the game that
Mhm.
I would 100% like take a game like Elden Ring
Mhm.
or whatever. Absolutely, and you could do it on the laptop. I believe he said with like you can turn it on and off as you see fit. And I'm pretty sure he said it works with like movies and things too.
Yeah.
It's the software, not the laptop. It's called Spatial Labs.
I think it has to have the laptop has a certain number of cameras to do
Well,
it.
yeah, like
Yeah.
it has to be set up for
Yeah.
it, but it's the software that does it. So that actually won one of our most innovative
Mm.
awards because that blew my
Mhm.
mind. I was like, this is so cool. And it wasn't like busted.
Yeah.
You know, when you see 3D and it's kind of janky right now because they're still like
Yeah.
learning.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's how I feel about that.
It kind of like similar to the way the 3DS works, I guess, but
I was just about to
less
say.
yeah, but
I've
less
actually
like a
never
weird
played
like
the
flip
3DS.
card and more like
Yeah.
you're looking
Well, 'cause-
into a window of reality.
Yeah, because like there were like in some aspects, like when the 3DS like used it to effect, it like really worked, and it like Dana was saying, it did such a good job at creating this like that illusion of depth. And I was actually going to ask Brendan if you ever had issues with that, because I remember hearing stories
The
about
3DS,
people
I
who.
didn't have problem. This one
Okay.
I did. I don't know
Yeah.
if it's the contacts or just how it manages to do 3D.
Mhm.
The 3DS I always found okay. The 3DS for me never worked as well as people claimed it did. It always felt kind of
Contacts, man, it's you. You're the
maybe.
problem.
Yeah, because I actually remember hearing stories about people who like wore contact lenses because the way of the 3DS worked was to like sort of manipulate, work with like the lenses that are like in your eyes naturally. So I think adding 2 extra lenses on top of that like created a weird like disconnect.
Yeah, do you ever remember those flip cards that kind of gave the illusion of depth by like
Yeah, you like by
though
like motion.
yeah. It felt like that. So whenever I moved my head even a little bit, I'd lose it, and I'm like,
Yeah.
well, now it's all kind of blurry, I guess.
Fun fact:
'Cause
3D
I
also
found-
makes Brendan want to vomit.
I found a little bit too with the 3DS sometimes, like about like wearing my glasses, like it would like kind of affect it. If I took my glasses off, it would be a lot better.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
It sounds cool.
It was cool stuff.
I like the idea.
Again, we've got some Lenovo stuff on our innovative list.
Yep. The Sennheiser stuff,
Sennheiser
stuff, in theory, could be really cool.
It could. I think it does something similar as the earbuds that Philip tested on our site.
Well, they're both
but,
Sennheiser.
They're I know. Thank you. But now I feel like they just slapped a different name on it, and you're like, this is a great idea. That's what I was trying to get at without being a dick. Anywho,
I saw
so
not
do you
specific.
explain what they are, Brendan?
Yeah. they are pitching them as a middle step between headphones and hearing aids. So it's for people that don't want to commit to buying a hearing aid yet, but
Mhm.
but are having trouble, like if they're in a public or a loud place, they can't quite hear the person like in front of them. So they want to go out for dinner and they can't differentiate between the background noise and the person they're talking to. These earbuds focus the audio of one individual and make it so it kind of comes through the earbuds for you. So it kind of
Mhm.
they're listening earbuds. So theoretically they can
Mhm.
be used just to like be used as normal earbuds and play your latest music. But the focus of them is to help you hear the world around you.
Mhm. Well, what was the price point on them?
Oh, almost $800.
But Sennheiser has
Well,
some pricey earbuds.
Yeah,
And they're like
Mhm.
trying to be the step between,
$5,000
yes
hearing
and
aid.
I was gonna
hearing
say,
aids.
yeah,
That's what I
like
was gonna
hearing
say.
aids themselves are not cheap, so I'm not surprised it's that
Yeah,
much.
but
Yeah,
sometimes they can be covered by benefits at least.
Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
yeah, that made Brendan happy. There's
I
also a very interesting appointment.
Yeah.
Just for the record, for any like women going off to CES, I realize that now this is the norm, but you will have appointments in random hotel rooms
yeah.
all over Vegas.
That's not a
You
good.
just get to go no,
Holy-
we go up to a floor and every room has like a little sign hanging outside that says like we had one for Razer, I had one for Monoprice, we had one for Sennheiser,
HyperX.
The
HyperX.
sign
You
says
just
it's okay. I will be in a robe. It's fine. It's how we do business.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's just what we do. It was
That's so
like
weird.
I felt really
shades of
stupid thinking that was
Weinstein.
weird. Like
Mhm.
I felt really like okay, I'm just being a dumb girl. But like luckily I
No,
had
it's weird.
Brendan for the first couple things we did. I got used to it after that. But like for me, my first time in Vegas, my first time at CES, my first time really covering tech in this
Mhm.
way, and to be like, just come into my hotel room, like, I
Mhm.
feel like
Red
this is how people get
flag.
auditions.
Yeah.
Um, there's a couch somewhere.
Welcome.
Jesus.
What about actually? Fuck this. You meet me outside.
Yeah.
This is
I mean, I will
standard
say
industry practice.
there's I will say it's interesting just like on the PC gaming front how much companies are embracing the like bespoke building of keyboards and keycaps and all that stuff. So many booths had
Hmm.
like we have Lord of the Rings keycaps. HyperX had bespoke like special drops. They have weird cats and
That
things like that.
bespoke word, man. It's haunting me now.
But like they had like
Spoke.
HyperX was talking about how they're like we're gonna drop special drops for these
Oh
one of
my
a kind
god,
keycaps that will only
HyperX
be.
was a lot.
And I'm
We
like,
do have really cute
cool.
keycaps now,
They
though.
do have really cool keycaps.
We have them too.
Yeah, we do.
Hmm.
But they were talking about like how this line is going to launch here, then this range is going to launch special date here,
Are
and you have to
people
get them while
like
you can.
fighting for keycaps that much? Like,
Apparently, they are. I mean, there's
to
numerous
be fair, I
companies.
was obsessing over
Yeah.
keycaps from Drop earlier today.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like part of it is just the industry itself too. Like people like the idea of like like the random drop and like getting
yeah,
stuff like that, like creating this idea
Mm.
of like
scarcity,
scarcity and like you
rarity,
like
and yeah,
yeah, exactly, rarity. So it's just like kind of part and parcel. So they're just kind of doing it with everything. But like I like the idea that maybe to like Brendan was kind of saying that they're maybe trusting consumers a little bit more to like customize their own
I'm going to throw it out
experience and
there.
like
I just reviewed the newest Asus keyboard. It is a 75% keyboard, so it doesn't have the numpad. Everything else is pretty normal.
mhm.
Um, that thing has so much levels of customization. It includes tools to open the switches so you can relube them when you want to.
Yeah.
It includes
Relube.
key lube in the box. But
Store it in your lockbox.
even more so, it has numerous. Yeah, there you go. It has even more in the box. It has things to remove the keycaps. It has things to remove the switches. It has a metal plate. It has numerous levels of installation. It is designed for the enthusiast. Mhm, mhm.
Whoops.
It isn't designed for the enthusiast that really wants to have this level of customization. And yes, companies like that have existed for a while, but seeing a major tech brand like Asus go
Hmm.
full in on a keyboard that is designed for that top 1% of people that want to just do everything themselves. And let's be clear here. This is not a cheap keyboard. I thought, oh, this is a really nice keyboard. There's an OLED screen on the side. It's really nice. Guess what it costs?
$1,000.
No.
$251.
Shut up.
I mean, between the two of you, it costs $300 American.
Hey,
Yeah,
I
no,
win.
I have
Wow.
lately found that gaming keyboards are like super expensive, my
Yeah.
friends.
Yeah,
Like I'm
that's
just coming into understanding this. We're spoiled, so I often don't think to look at a price when I'm playing with something, and then I go to write up my little review, and I'm like, "Here's the oh shit."
ooh.
But I mean,
Cool,
I
cool,
mean,
cool, cool,
I
cool.
know,
wanna be
but
clear here.
like
I
tech,
want to be
a
clear.
lot of tech stuff.
Oh my god, stop
Sorry,
talking over
sorry,
people.
sorry, Brendan. Go ahead.
I want to be clear. It's a really good keyboard. And if price was no object, I would say everyone should go buy this keyboard if you don't mind the
Mhm.
not having a numpad.
I do mind that just
I
Yeah.
horribly. I do.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
know a lot of
mind.
people do.
I haven't had a numpad in
But
forever.
I think it depends who you are. If you were someone that would spend, like, you'd buy the base plate and then you'd buy all the keycaps and you build it all yourself, this might be the keyboard for you. It has everything. It feels great. It's one of the
Mhm.
best built keyboards I've ever used. If you're just someone that was like, I was going to buy the $50 keyboard, but I may want to buy something a little bit more expensive, this is probably not for you. Like, no, it's such a step up from the regular keyboards. It's just not what
Yeah.
anyone normal would use. This is for the people that have already played with the top end stuff and they're like, I want to do better.
Yeah.
And that's probably not most people.
Yeah. No.
But it's really nice.
his review's not out yet, so don't tell anyone. Shh.
Shh. Well, because and I know it wasn't really CES related, but I did see it like just a week ago, where NYXI announced like a new Joy-Con. Chris, I don't know if you've seen this. It's a new set of Joy-Cons that are styled after the
The
GameCube
GameCube.
controllers.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like one of the like the selling features, besides like it's got like the extra like sort of like the the side buttons on the handles, it's got like the like more like tactile triggers, is interchangeable joystick rings.
Oh,
So like because
cool.
now the joysticks that they're using, they're what do you call them, Hall effect.
mechanical. Okay, sure.
No, they're the Hall effect ones. I was looking. I didn't know about this either. So it's like they don't actually use like trigger points on like a board like most
Okay.
standard
Mhm.
joysticks do. So that basically, there's no like drift. There's no like wear and tear because it uses magnets to like
Oh, that's
detect
cool.
where the things are. So, but like what they have is like,
Magnets.
so you can
How do they
take
work?
there's I think there's
I was
sensors
being
like,
I was being sarcastic. It's a
oh,
joke.
damn it. This is what happens when you're sarcastic all the time, Brendan. I take you
You
seriously.
never know what's happening.
It's a thing that
Um,
ICP. It was in the song One Miracles.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Freaking magnets.
That's
How do they
happened.
work?
We're ICP-ing, that's where we're at.
God damn it. But anyway, yes. So they have interchangeable joystick rings, so you can take them off. They have like sort of like hollow like octagonal sticks that like allow for
Okay.
more like accurate like direction, sort of like, which are better for like fighting games. And they have like more like rounded ones that are better for just like standard play, or like games that you don't necessarily need that like pinpoint precision. So it's like,
Right.
again, like giving the consumer a little bit more faith that they like will be able to sort of like play around with their controller, with their Joy-Cons, and like customize them to their liking, is like it's just a kind of a cool thing to see, because again, for so long you've seen people like releasing very like simplistic products because they don't trust the audience enough to mess around with
Right.
it, right? Everything has to be sort of like an all-in-one thing.
Yeah, I'll believe the no drift when I see it though, because like every controller these days is getting drift. Like,
Yeah.
I just can't
Optimal
trust that
push.
sentiment. I know there's the science behind it's probably better, but I just can't trust it.
Yeah.
Optimal push in chat there. He goes through controllers like nothing I've ever seen. Like there's a lot of gaming going on there. But like he was buying like the Xbox Elite controllers, like the hundreds of dollars controllers, and he'd crush them. like
Well,
in under the warranty time. So he started buying just like $40 controllers and just cycling through them. That's like, Christmas, you get a controller now because I know you don't need it now,
Yeah.
but you will.
I feel like I've
He
never
says he's
went
not
through a
violent, but he is.
controller.
He's lying. Yeah, I
Like
definitely kill controllers.
all my Xbox controllers that I had throughout my life have been in pretty good. The only reason nowadays why I like don't have like 4 of the 6 Xbox 360 controllers I had was because my brother had my Xbox 360 and my niece literally chewed the rubber off of the sticks.
That seems bad.
All right.
that's
Yeah,
not,
no,
that's
they're
not a
unhealthy.
cheap toy. No, that's expensive.
they're rough. She went through that phase that where like she was just biting onto everything.
I'm still in that phase. There is one other thing, Chris, I wanted to mention to you specifically. I don't know how
Mhm.
strict you are with your kids about screen time. Do you have a rule? I don't as a gaming parent. I'm like, yeah, screens, go. But do you like to
In
pretend you do?
theory, I limit it, but in
Yeah.
practice, yeah, probably not as much as I should.
there's a all right. There's no judgment here. This is a safe space. It's the
This
internet.
is their self-judgment. It's fine.
So there's a company that I've worked with before. It's called On and Off. They did something called the Buddy phones. They're like children's headphones. They
Mhm.
can only go like to a certain volume, so you're not blowing your kids' brains out. All that jazz.
Absolutely.
Well, they just came out with something called story phones. So they still work as normal headphones. You still hook them up. You can hook them up with an auxiliary cable, Bluetooth, whatever. But their aim is to get kids away from screens. What they have is on the earphone itself is a little disc that pops in and out,
Mhm.
and they're stories. So right
Hmm.
now they're working with Disney. So they have Frozen, they have Mickey, they have the Mickey one's awful because it sounds like Mickey. Uh,
No one needs
they
that.
have Ariel. Like there's all these different Disney stories. I'm sure they have not Disney too. I don't know. This is just what they showed us. And like the little discs are about the price of a book. They're between $7 and $15. The headphones themselves are 100, which for decent sounding Bluetooth headphones, they're pretty great.
Mhm.
I don't know in practice how well this would work. Like I was thinking for my kids when we drive to, to see their grandparents and stuff like that. I don't know how much focus it will keep of theirs, but I thought it was really cool. Somebody trying to move away from like just look at the screen when things like Lego or like sign into this app for your instructions. Um, they also had for a larger size headphone and for these ones um, discs that were like relaxation, and it was like white
Mhm.
noise and rain and all that kind of stuff. And then they also have one that you can record onto, so you can read a story and your kids can listen to it, or grandparents or whoever. Or you can just talk to them and have that. It doesn't have to be reading them a story, I guess.
Sounds like
But I
it
thought that
like
was really
unifies a
cool.
lot of other cool stuff that's been coming out too. Like that's not the first time that someone's had that idea, but to put it in something like that is pretty clever.
Yeah, and they are like good headphones that work as headphones too. So it's not just like a one trick pony, if you will. So that was something I handed that one of our innovation awards because getting kids away from screens right now is nearly impossible. Especially I have a sister-in-law who is quite strict with screen time, and she just kind of had to give in to give her daughter a tablet because they're driving like 2 hours to go see grandparents. And I don't know how we all survived. Like we used to do that all the time, and I don't know, our parents all hated their lives, or
Mhm.
kids were better, or
Nope. I
Thing
mean,
is, we
that's why.
know
Are we
more
there
now
yet?
kids drank
too, right?
more. Yeah.
We know more now than we used to, and it's. I mean, if my parents had understood the damage I was doing to my eyes by trying to like see the Game Boy in the dark as we're driving home, I think they would have
Yeah.
been a little more
Yeah.
careful about it. But this
I
was
mean,
Do you know?
emerging
even reading in
technology.
the dark's bad. So
Do you know that I just recently, as an adult, learned that like it's not illegal to turn the light on in the car?
it's not illegal. Just it's bad.
Why is it bad?
It distorts the outside light compared to the
There's
inside.
no actual rules against it.
No, there's not any rules. Just
Just
it
it's
might make
not.
it harder to see out the windows.
Depends on your vehicle. Actually, it's funny you mentioned that
It
because
doesn't.
like recently I had that with my mother-in-law was telling my daughter not to turn the light on while I was driving. She did it for a second anyways. I was ready for it. It didn't change anything for me with the way our vehicle is, but
No, me either.
I was like, I'm just gonna keep my mouth
Me
shut
either.
and say this. No, this is a good rule to keep in mind just in case. I'd rather you err on the side of caution
Yeah,
rather
I
than me.
always
But
thought you
yeah,
weren't
this
allowed
was
to do
me
that. Like
like
I thought
huddled
it,
over the
I
car,
thought
like,
it was a
oh wait,
rule.
there's a street light.
Mhm.
It's gone. Like screen time was
Yeah,
different back then,
yeah,
right? Like,
absolutely.
um,
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, we didn't know how much bad it was, or how bad it was, how much bad it was.
How
Wow,
much bad do we
amazing.
talking?
Thanks for coming
Yeah,
out.
how bad it was just to read in the dark. Like how, like, oh, I'm just going to read with this really small light.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like, well, don't do that. You will have no eyes. They will go
Mm-hmm.
Your
away.
eyes will bleed and fall out of your skull.
Yeah. So that's where we're at with that. I thought it was really cool. I will. One of us will test that, Chris.
Yeah, it's not me.
Surprise!
50
You or me,
50.
I think. Maybe Joe. I could get Joe to do it, I guess.
I guess, yeah,
But
33
yeah,
33.
that's really cool. Samsung has a bunch of weird, crazy stuff coming out. If you need a shoe locker that can hold your shoes and deodorize them and detect what kind of shoes they are, like, soccer shoes versus
Yeah,
heels.
that was
That was stupid.
weird. And then LG had something that would let you display your shoes, but also deodorize them as they're displaying them
That's true.
because you need to do that.
That's where we're at.
That's
Also,
That's kind of
people
cool
have
though.
too much money.
yeah, you have too
If you
many.
want to
Your
have a
shoes are too important to you, or your stink needs to be medicated. Probably if you're
Yeah,
like
it was
if it's
gross.
that
yeah,
important.
but the LG one they're showing off, like, what if you had like 12 of these boxes? I'm like, those boxes have to cost over $1,000 a piece. So probably most people aren't doing that. But that's cool.
It is a thing you can buy.
Yeah.
I don't. I understand that CES is a kind of an aspirational place. You go there and you're like, these are things that might exist one day. But
Audio is the audio transfer.
what?
The audio transfer thing.
Oh yeah,
Ixana,
yeah.
I believe it's called. I went to see it because I was thinking it was just this dumb gimmick thing. This guy had, it was like a little box attached to his phone, and he gave me headphones. He's like, "You don't hear anything, right?" And I can see that there's a song playing. I'm like, "No, I don't." And he goes, "Okay, put your hand above mine like this." And moving into his space, I could hear what his phone was playing.
It's like a new standard similar to Bluetooth, but it's much closer and it uses the human body or any kind of area to kind of transfer the signal.
So now
You
that
weren't even
sounds
there.
I
When
fantastic
we
I was
went to
there. I
see
because
it.
read
I've
the sign. There was a sign next to it. There's like
It
it's less
uses
power than Bluetooth.
100 times less power than Bluetooth.
See?
There was a guy that was also doing it by like touching this strip and it was playing on a Bluetooth speaker.
Mm.
I don't, the way that they explained like why it would be useful would be things like right now we have those AR glasses
Mhm.
that are big and bulky and awful. Well, these would help that.
Yeah.
So they're looking for places to use this technology. It was really cool. I think I freaked the guy out. I'm like, so like if somebody was listening to something and I wanted to listen with them, they gave me an earbud, I could just like touch them. He's like, well, you'd have to be really close. I'm like, I touch people. Like
I'm just thinking this is great for the people that feel like they need to blare their music in public when you're walking or
Oh
whatever
yeah,
on the
those guys are
bus
the
or something
best.
like that.
Don't you just love
yeah.
that? I mean, they could listen with headphones, but I'm so glad they
Mhm.
share everything they listen to everywhere they go. Like just like have it just speakerphone at all times. I mean,
It's just like, yeah,
I
I'm gonna
wish
ride
were
my bike
quiet
and I'm
without
gonna
them.
ride by you at 20 kilometers an hour, just blaring some generic 60s rock.
It's so amazing. I love it. I wish everyone would do that. Just screw earphones. Let's just hear everything everyone's thinking and playing at every one time. It'd be great.
Just noise pollution for the win.
Yeah. I think that's the future. Let's have no more earphones. Just blare everything at once.
Yeah. It's good.
If you're gonna do
It's
that,
a
you need to have the
projector.
full boombox on your shoulder effect. That's the only way it should
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
allowed. Just saying. That's my hot take for the
I
day.
mean, the 80s were the peak decade, so bring that back.
There you go. We also, saw the giant flying car that was it
It was
looked
a
like
helicopter. It was a straight up
it
helicopter.
was just
I love
a
how you add
helicopter.
that as a footnote.
By the
Yeah,
way,
well, we didn't actually see it. We didn't get to like go to the well, we
the
could have,
gadget.
but we didn't
Oh,
make it to their like launch. We didn't get
Yeah.
to watch it do anything. It was just sitting there, and I was like, that is a helicopter.
You just
Um,
didn't wait long enough. Oh,
there
come
was some
on,
John
Marge.
Deere
Hasn't done
stuff.
anything yet.
Yeah.
John Deere machines that were bigger than this
It's gonna
building.
do it.
Yeah.
Um,
A
some cool
Thresher.
cars. I don't know. Anything particularly dumb that we thought was amazing?
Most of what CES had.
That's true. That's
I
true.
mean, I will say CES felt very, this would be amazing if people had all the money in the world devices. There was a lot of 1% of the 1% devices. Like we were talking about the Samsung Bespoke.
Mhm.
They look like, yeah, I want my fridge to have a weird TV on it? Sure, that's dumb.
not?
I'm down. And they're just talking about like this is for people that want to customize every aspect of their house, and these fridges will cost like $10,000. I'm like, I feel that that's most people do not spend that on a fridge. That is not what most people spend on devices. So these are very selective devices. Cool. Like we put it in the most innovative to the fact that they can be customized in new and exciting ways. But also, most people should not buy a $10,000 fridge or an $8,000 fridge or a $7,000 fridge. These are price ranges that most people do not need a fridge in.
$1, Bob.
$1.
So
You know what I don't need to hear? Jordan scratching his beard.
yeah, but no one needs that.
Wow, that was loud. That's like kind of impressive.
Stop that.
Please stop. It sounds like Velcro. I am unhappy.
Oh,
I'm sorry for your.
No, this is not an
This is a
ASMR
microphone.
podcast.
I can't believe. Oh, I left it at home.
Well, yeah, he's in Brazil, dude.
Yeah, but I
Why
assume he
doesn't
bought
she
everything.
have one?
Yeah.
Shouldn't
Just-
everybody,
No, I didn't
or
bring
am I just
anything.
spoiled now? Also, I won't get into it, but there's a brand called Rolling Square. They do a lot of really cool small things that I'm kind of obsessed with. They have something called the Edge Pro, and they have like the Swiss Army knife of chargers. Go look at it. I love them, and
They
I
were
want
nice.
them to just.
They
like-
also have earphones designed to not make your ears die.
Yeah, they gave us a whole presentation on how we're killing our eardrums, and we can't fix it. There were
Cool.
pictures and stuff. I didn't like it.
I didn't like it either. I don't inside of ears are gross. I don't like it.
It wasn't great. Anyway, that's where we're at. CES was cool. The world is on fire with everybody getting fired,
Yeah.
and I might look at a sex toy box.
The end.
I mean, that's
And
a fair
that's-
place to end. I think that's pretty good.
And that's the way the cookie crumbles.
And that's the way it was.
Yeah. On that note, that's going to do it for us this
Yeah,
week.
okay.
If you'd like to read more on these topics, lots more to say about CES stuff. That's in a whole bunch of articles on the website, which you can find at
We also have
cgmagonline.com.
we have a coolest stuff article coming, I believe.
What?
We have a coolest stuff article coming.
I mean, that is why. Now you said it. Now I have to do it. Like,
Yeah.
absolutely not.
With
Well,
the
we have
color
a-
changing car, and
We didn't even see the color changing car.
I mean, we didn't go to the press conference, but we know about
A car that can put like Spider-Man. Sony had some. dumb
That's
shit.
Sony, the Sony car.
It has like an LCD screen in the front of the car. You can like post the score to the game. That's what they were doing. I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't.
Whoa,
Why
that's the
wouldn't
thing.
that matter?
Brendan, we need to stop talking now. We're done now.
Well, yeah, the
Bye.
CES coverage. And I was also going to mention that our best of 2023 coverage is coming in the next few days as well.
Yep.
And be sure to head to the website and vote in our
Starting
Game of the
tomorrow.
Year audience poll, which is surprisingly
It's
tight.
real weird right now.
Mhm.
It's gotten further
haven't
since we
checked it
looked earlier. I think it's currently standing at 38% for Elden Ring and 30% for Cult of the Lamb, with Horizon and God of War Ragnarok trailing.
Okay.
So there's still time to make a difference in that. Head over to
Okay. That's
cgmagonline.com
splitting up. Let's split up.
from your desktop and log into and vote in that there.
Yeah.
Be sure to follow CG Magazine on all the socials. Just search CG Mag, you'll find us. If you have any questions or comments, you can send them to podcast@cgmagonline.com. Jordan, where can people find you?
You can find me sometimes on Instagram and sometimes on TikTok at Ninja X Jordan, and you can find me sometimes on YouTube at Ninja Jordan Reviews.
Huzzah.
Dana?
Okay, we're gonna go with me. I
was
don't
waiting
know,
for
like
you.
order of
What's the
cameras, order of talking. I don't like anything. I hate everything. You can find me at the Dana Eileen in some places, and I don't know, maybe in Vegas soon. It's a happy place.
Going back. We're gonna win it big.
Dan.
That never happens. I'm BFry26 on every of the socials that you might want to look at.
Nobody wants to look at them. Run.
Yeah, probably not. But if you are there, I am at times tweeting and at times not. So figure out what day it is at that time.
Schrodinger's
It's a great-
socials.
Great story, guys.
Yep.
And you can find me on the socials at Hugathy and sometimes here on Twitch at Guild 2 Taps, less than used to. But yeah, anyways, thanks for listening, and we'll catch you guys next week. Bye. That's our official sign off. Bye.
Brendan's not ready with the button.
I'm
Bye.
down.
He also.